What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. And as you can see from these lovely boards behind the start gate, we are going to be playing a brand new Punker Jeffy track called Temecula the Creek. Now we are all fans of Punker Jeffy at this point. He creates lots and lots of fan favourites within the community. Mostly known for, I'd say, his fast-paced kind of tracks. They're very fast, very flowy. In terms of like difficulty, they're usually very much on the easy end, so everybody's able to deal with them. We've got Temecula the Creek here. And I feel like I need to zoom out a hell of a long way to get all of this in the same picture. But one thing that really caught my attention when I went to download this track was just the pictures that he provides himself. He's put so many pictures in there for reference. And I saw just like a picture here, and I might be way off base in saying this, but do you ever get it when you're scrolling through Instagram or TikTok now and then, you see maybe like a GoPro video of someone riding like a ridge of a mountain or whatever, like right at the very top with drops on both sides, and it's just very scenic, very beautiful. It kind of gives me that sort of vibe. I know not the entire track is like that, but that's just what bits like this feel like. And just looking at the jump stuff, it looks very nice and flowy all the way around here. I'm on the 450. I'm hoping it's not going to be a case of the 450 is way too overpowered and I've got to check up a bunch everywhere. I mean, coming that hill is disgustingly steep. That's going to be an interesting one to try and get up as well. It's going to be a bit weird, I'll be honest. It's always odd playing MX bikes after a couple of days off, but I'll get into that more once the video starts. But yeah, it's been 3 days, I want to say. Maybe this is day 4 of me not playing the game. So we'll see how I do. Hopefully I can do the track some justice. And I feel like most of you have already seen this track by now anyway. I'm very much late to the party. But if not, I hope you enjoy what you see. And it's completely free as well, as Jeffy's tracks all have been so far. So massive W to him as well. And let's get into it, spin some laps, and hopefully I can do it some justice for you all. Right then, I think we should see what this is all about, and I know I'm going to get a question model for Supercross. Now, it's obviously it's not a new bike. We don't have Triumph OEMs at all yet. I don't know if or when that update is ever going to come, but this is just the KTM 450 with a Triumph model. The only thing that kind of sucks about model swaps in this game is I'd like to ride kind of like my own bike or my own model. So let's say I'm riding the KTM and I want the Triumph on it. I would then like everybody else to be on the KTM, so I don't know, I just don't want the whole field to be on Triumphs. And it's even, I asked in the dev chat if that is something that we can maybe get for the future. It's not had any response. I doubt it will do, but it would be nice. It would be wishful thinking. I did find a way. It's a bit backwards, to be fair. I don't know how you'd really replicate it on a day-to-day scenario. But I was playing in the ranked servers the other day, and whilst I was in the server, I put this model replacement in my game. I didn't close and reload the game at all, but when the server then switched over to the next track, it updated my bike to be in the Triumph without me having to change anything, but it didn't update anyone else's. So I was on the Triumph and everybody else was on the KTM. So it's definitely possible. It's just the way the server stores and loads bike models, I guess. But well, that'd just be a nice quality of life change for the future. I think we'd be very, very good. There might be a few more jump cuts in this video than what I normally post, and it is exactly the reason why you see no face cam right now either. If you haven't been on my Instagram at all, and you definitely should do, it is just at LinzMX. Definitely throw a follow in there on the rare occasion I do upload anything. I have had the surgery done. I've had the old man surgery, so the top of the head is not in a pretty state right now whatsoever. However, the reason there's more jump cuts is, what I didn't realise is just how much the top of your head moves when you're doing anything, whether that's smiling, frowning, talking in general. It's just me talking here, I can feel the top of my head moving, and on certain words or certain extremes, let's say, it's really, really painful. I'm trying to stay away from painkillers as much as possible. I always kind of do without. I have no idea why. It's just something that I've always done. Even when I had my ACL repaired at the hospital as well, I stayed away from painkillers after that, and that wasn't the most pleasant of experiences. But yeah, I've had it done, which is why there's no face cam, and there probably won't be for maybe going up to a month. It all depends on how it starts to look. So to give you a general gist of it all and how it all works is... Wait, where do I want to start actually? So there's going to be at least a 2-week period where I can't wear a hat at all, but I want to go longer than that to just kind of let it all breathe and heal as best as it can. I don't want the hat rubbing against it all and pulling all of the grafts out, etc. So I want to give maybe up to like a month. We'll see how it goes there. There's a period of time where it looks pretty damn gross. Right now it's just like a bit bloody, so it's not really that nice, but once it starts healing as well, the scabbing over and that will just look absolutely rank, so I don't want to subject anybody's eyes to all of that thing. The whole procedure, I can kind of walk you through it by the day, to be fair. So I arrived at the clinic at 8:30-ish, just before 8:30, and then it lasted until just gone 5. So it is an entire day of you sitting there being stabbed and poked and prodded. And how it works is they essentially, I'm saying, drill a hole around all of the hairs on the back of your head that they're going to use to replace. They then drill holes in the top of your head, which is where the hairs are getting put into. They then take each hair individually and place that into each of those holes. So in my situation, I had 2,500 grafts taken, which ended up being about 7,500 times that I got stabbed, which it's not the end of the world usually, because they do put you under local anaesthetic, so you're awake for the whole thing, but it's meant to be numb-ish. What we found out, however, is I am quite a heavy bleeder, which is, to be fair, is something that I've had my whole life, even as a kid. If you got nosebleeds, for example, when playing outside, the nosebleeds would tend to go on for a very long time and be really, really heavy. But yeah, it turns out I'm quite a heavy bleeder. Now, what that means is the anaesthetic that they inject into you gets washed away by all the blood coming out. So that then means it is not as numb and it's a lot more painful. But not only was it just more painful, the donor hair, so the hair on the side and the back of your head, apparently mine is very, very deep rooted, which is odd considering it doesn't exist on the top. So they had to make deeper incisions than they normally would. So not only were they going deeper, but the anaesthetic also wasn't as effective because of heavy bleeding. So it was just not a pleasant experience at all. And I was basically over it by 5 PM. I just wanted it to be finished. It is not something that I would recommend if you are on the edge about it. Nobody really talks about how painful the experience is. You just see the before and after and happy smiley photos, which I'm hoping I will be nice and happy and smiley in like 6 to 12 months time. The way I'm looking at it, because I'm seeing, like, it seems like people are very, very on the fence. I've had people in my community that have had it done that think it's a big old W, and then I see others saying, oh, it's a waste of money, like scam, blah blah blah. But the way I look at it is, if it looks great in a year's time, which by the way that is the full, I guess, healing period, is they say a year up to 18 months, then that's a big old W, money well spent. If it doesn't look great in a year to 18 months, then they either do it again for free, which I think is quite cool. I probably won't, because again, very, very painful experience. I don't know if I want to relive it. If it doesn't look great, then I'll just shave it off anyway. And it's the same as just embracing it going bald regardless. There's not really a loss there at all. So I'm happy with it. I think it'll be fine. Linda has basically been my nurse for the last couple of days, kind of redoing my bandages and like putting antiseptic cream on the back and all that good stuff. But if you want to see a couple of pictures, and it is up on my Instagram, I did just put a little warning on there if anybody doesn't like seeing anything like that, then do not swipe right to look at more pictures, because yeah, it's not too nice looking right now. But that's where I've been for the last couple of days. I really thought I would get it done and then just be able to sit on my PC all day every day. I can't wear headphones at the moment. They've said I can, but it's gone further back than expected. So not only did they fill in, let's say, the gaps that I had on the peaks, they've also gone a bit further back than that to future-proof it as well. So that kind of sits just below the ridge of where my headphones would sit, on the middle of my head. So I just don't want to take that chance. So I found some old earphones. I've had to move my PC like closer to me under my desk so the earphones actually reach, and I can't believe how poor the quality of them is. Like the game and just YouTube videos in general sound absolutely horrific. I'm hoping it doesn't translate that way too badly in the video, because when I select a audio source, it is my headphones. So it's not my usual Logitech headphones I wear, it's now just some random Samsung like wired earphones. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, again, it's not terrible. If it is, then I am sorry. There's not really much I can do about it, I'm afraid. At least not for like 2 weeks all the way up to a month, until I even want to risk putting a proper headset back on my head. But we'll go from there. We'll see how it is. And you know, it's a long period. I don't know when. Eventually, I plan on showing it all off again. probably longer than a month, I would have thought. But when the face cam does return, I'll probably just chuck a hat on for the time being anyway, and we'll just go from there. So if you do have any questions about it at all, then feel free to leave them below. I'm happy to answer them. I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed out in amongst all this, but I thought I'd just give you the general gist of it. And I have to spray a saline water, which is basically just medical water, on it every 30 minutes that I'm awake, which I'll probably have to do as soon as I stop recording this, actually, because I've done it just before I started. And then I've got antibiotics for every 6 hours of the day that I need to take for the next 4 days, and like antiseptic creams to do once a day on the back of the head, all this stuff. There's like a day-by-day guide for the first week, and then it's a bit more relaxed after that. So good stuff all around. One thing I didn't actually plan on happening was it perfectly lined up with the break in the DDC races. So that was a big old W. That's crazy how things line up like that. So I think, I don't know if it's a 1 or a 2 week break that DDC races are doing, but I'm quite looking forward to the next one, because I'm feeling more comfortable now than ever on the game. I feel pretty damn good, especially on the KTM. Like, I've got a setup that I enjoy. The whoops for me at the moment are about, I would say 80-20. So 80% of the time I get through really, really well, and then 20% of the time I'll get a little bit huckabuck and not too sure. But all of the ranked grinding that I've done to get to #1 has definitely made me feel a lot better. I'm hoping that it's not just a case of I feel good on the current tracks and that any new ones I will struggle on. We shall see. But one thing I haven't really spent any time on is the aerial test track that came out. I've done the video, and that was it. I've not really tested it at all. So in terms of Supercross, 2025 Supercross, I am very much lacking in that area. So that is something I'm going to have to hop on the grind of a little bit more before that season starts. Because I am a big advocate of you are good at what you practice. So if you're someone that practices the more stock tracks all the time, and when I say stock tracks, obviously we're talking about Forest and Winchester, stuff like that. But I also bundle things like Farm 14 or which was the other one? Or Walnut in there as well. Those sorts of tracks, you'll be very, very good at those if that's what you practice. If you practice a whole bunch of GP stuff, you'll be good at GP tracks, so on and so forth. So I do need to practice the scaling of the indoor stuff. And I don't think they've done the poll yet, but there's meant to be a poll on if people want rutted or smooth. And I'll be honest, I don't know which direction it's going to go in. I feel like it's very 50-50 on what people do and don't like. I'm a bit indifferent. If I had to lean more one way than the other, I would just say ruts, just because I think it does create better racing, that you have something to bank your tyres off of if you're trying to make a pass on someone, rather than just kind of skating around flat tracking. But that's just me. You know, everyone's got their own opinions, and it's I'll go with whatever the general community is happiest to go with, really. Now, in terms of moving forwards a little bit, I would have loved to get nice and festive for you all and done maybe like a Christmas Eve or Christmas Day live stream and get Linda involved. But I am going to be travelling back down to my family's to spend 2 or 3 days there over the Christmas period. So I'm just going to have, you know, videos. I'm going to pre-record a little bit, get ahead of it. Hopefully we might get 1 or 2 new snow tracks a little bit closer to the time. We've been getting more and more of those as the years have gone on, I guess. It used to be just the one Supercross track that people would just replay over and over every Christmas. But I know there's something in the works right now on the snowmobile side of things, which is going to be really interesting to see when it's done. I'm not going to say too much because I don't know if Devo really wants us to talk about that at all. I've just seen some work in progress pictures and it looks very, very cool. Something really different that we don't usually see in the game. And yeah, hopefully maybe we'll get 1 or 2 others. I don't know if Hurren's working on anything. I know Kells has done a snowy track before as well. So we'll see if any of those fan favourites are cooking anything in the kitchen at all come Christmas time. But I'm excited. All of my shopping is done now and almost everything is wrapped. Just need to wrap a gift or 2 for my dad, and then I think everyone else is done. And I'm happy with all of the Christmas stuff so far. It's felt very nice, kind of decorating my own Christmas, because it's the first Christmas I've spent away from family in general. So myself and Linda, like we bought a tree, you know, bought the baubles. Of course, I got her to do all of the tree stuff because I've got no desire to sit there and do that. I'm more of the critic. I will sit back and just give my opinion on what does and doesn't look good at the end of it all. But I think she's done a very, very good job. So that'll be all around. And it's nice just going into the living room and sitting downstairs watching TV with her with the Christmas lights on the tree and no other lights. It makes you feel very warm and cozy. And I'm a big Christmas guy. I love Christmas. My favourite holiday by far. not massively into Halloween, you know, don't really celebrate much else, just Christmas, and then I suppose everyone likes their own birthday, doesn't they? I think it's a good excuse to get money in cards or just gifts overall. So I hope everyone, whatever you celebrate, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you have a nice holiday in general and get to spend some time with friends, family, all that good stuff. And that is the most important thing, really. When I was younger, it used to be all about just the getting the gifts, but I do genuinely like spending time with family now, which is something that I never thought I would have said in the past as just a recluse who likes sitting playing video games all day. I completely forgot to mention that there are 2 versions of this track. It's not 2 separate downloads or anything like that, it's just the one. But I believe one comes under the clear daytime, or clear weather, sorry, and one comes under cloudy, where one is this more bright, not I'd say middle of the day like this, and one is a more sunsetty kind of vibe. And I completely forgot about the sunset one, to be honest. When I load up the track, I probably would have done that one instead, but they both look very, very good. And I'm surprised how unframey it is, because, I mean, if you look around, look how much damn foliage there is all over the place, and even off into the mountains as well. I'm surprised it's running as smoothly as it is. I've got no frame drops at all. I don't know if anyone on maybe like the lower end PCs might struggle a little bit, and of course the game handles completely different online compared to offline. But hopefully no one's having too many issues. It would be a shame for a track that looks this nice and flows this nicely as well to kind of get done dirty by the game's poor optimization. Because realistically, if you want to achieve a look like this, where it does look natural and you haven't just got emptiness off in the background or bland hills without any life to them, but you need it, you know, you need to have all this foliage in there to bring it all to life, and I think he's done a very good job of it. And again, this like shrubbery and foliage and bushes that he has around, they do seem to be a staple of his. I've jumped off this right hand side so many times on this step up, I'm so sorry. So from tracks like Across the Sea to this one, even though they have a different sort of vibe and aesthetic, he does use very similar assets, which, I mean, he's got it down to a T, to be fair. Like his on-track masking and all that looks really, really nice. Looks ridden on, but not perfectly groomed at the same time, which is good to see. It doesn't give, like, fully private track feels. It feels like it gets used by a lot of people, but it's not always perfectly groomed all the time. It's been ridden through. It's like, oh, what's her name? Who's the name of that, let's just say, female actress that has chosen to have a lot of men attend to her at the same time? You guys are going to know. You're all horrible human beings. You'll know exactly who I'm talking to. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. One thing that I also like about Jeffy's tracks is he always lets us know what his best lap time is on them. And, of course, he's not setting lap times that set the world on fire by any means, but they are a good, I'd say, banker to know what you're going for. So his best lap around here, I think he said, was a 2:25. I'm sat at a 2:23 right now, and I actually want to see if I can put in a little bit of a steamer and see what I can do. Some part, I feel like I'm going to go flying off the track at some point, because there's a few blind jumps I haven't fully memorised yet, but I want to try and see if I can get a little bit more speed going. So I've been taking it quite chill, you know, nice and relaxed for the return. Again, I apologise, it's been a couple of days since I've uploaded anything, but hoping to hop back on the horse a little bit. We can send this more, I think, down to here. Don't want to jump too far left here. I don't want to cut the bows by mistake. Oh, God. Oh, that was a heavy landing. Okay, we're going to hook that middle right much better. Didn't have to go all the way to the outside. And then we've got this step up that goes into a left. Come up a bit short there. That's not ideal. It's going to cost me some time. Fine. I'm sure we'll make it up in other places. Now, I don't want to go too far to the right here. I'm going to go left a bit. Yes, much better. And I'm not even going to try and slot into the inside when there's a nice big outside rut to hold me in. Scrub back up this hill, slot into the inside. It wasn't by choice. It was a lovely, happy little accident, as Mr. Bob Ross would say, but we got in there regardless. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Oh, kind of tiptoeing on the edge of the track there. I'm scared to go all the way off, get on the brakes, kind of cut across this split section. It's always the fear with split sections is you can go inside, which is exactly the case there, but we are scumbags on this game, aren't we? We all do whatever ends up being the quickest way around the track. And when you get it right, it's actually very satisfying. But you have to take your time on it a little bit. If you don't check up, then you're going to slam into it too hard and it will just try standing the bike upright and you're not going to be going anywhere in a hurry. Step back down here. I really do feel like I could be carrying more corner speed, but I'm a little bit tentative because I haven't fully memorised where everything goes just yet. jump. Can I get this inside? I don't think I've taken the inside yet. And this was a big old step down. Oh my goodness. I mean, again, scenery, when you're stepping down on hills like this, looks absolutely beautiful. We can send this. I know it's a triple I keep checking up on. Downside that, lovely. Triple again, just trying to downside some of these rollers. Or miss the inside right up there. I'm going to double round to the right. This is the last corner. I'm 4 seconds up on my best time up to that point, so that's good. But a little bit wonky going up there because of the game's hill physics. Not really much you can do about that. And there you go. What was mine? Mine was a 218.5. If I had to throw a guess out there, if we do see some sort of hot lap videos on this track, I imagine you're probably looking at like the 215-ish sort of area if you're just going wide open everywhere once you've got the track memorised. But the track plays exactly how I thought it would play. It's just smooth, flowy, fun. It's not too difficult as well. I think it can be enjoyed by all skill levels, which is exactly what you want from your tracks. And of course, it is free as well. So big W to Mr. Jeffy all around. Thank you for giving us another track, blessing us with your creative talent, and thank you all of you for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do drop a like if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and want to see some more. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to. See you in the next video. Goodbye.
Lynn's in the zone, never backing down. Riding MX bikes, he's the talk of the town. 2022 champ with a YouTube crown. His game is tight, no signs of slowing down. Late nights, bright lights, he's chasing that fame in the digital arena. Writing his name, she's a 10 out of 10. Supporting his lane, hairline might receive, but his passion's the same.